What if I told you a diesel engine designed for heavy-duty machinery is now outperforming the raw power of some train engines? Sound impossible, right? Well, buckle up, because the CAT C13 has just rewritten the rules of industrial horsepower. And no, this isn't just another spec sheet flex. This is a story of power, precision, and engineering madness, the kind that'll leave train engines blushing in shame. Now, before you start imagining a bulldozer dragging a freight train uphill, don't worry, we'll get there. But let's start with the basics. The CAT C13 is no stranger to diesel fans. It's been a cornerstone in mining equipment, marine vessels, and high-load generators for years. But recently, Caterpillar decided to supercharge its capabilities, literally, with newer models pushing up to 1,150 horsepower and torque figures climbing over 3,000 lb-ft. The C13 is no longer just a workhorse. It's a beast that eats workload for breakfast and asks for seconds. Let that sink in. Over 1,000 horsepower in a diesel platform small enough to fit into trucks, heavy equipment, and even mega yachts. And now, here comes your cliffhanger. When you compare this to some modern freight locomotives like the EMD GP38, which produces around 2,000 horsepower, the difference isn't as wild as you might think, especially when you factor in weight, displacement, and power-to-size ratio. But let's zoom in. Why is the C13 suddenly this powerful? Caterpillar has been quietly refining this platform with turbocharging upgrades, advanced common rail fuel injection, and tighter electronic control systems. The result? Throttle response that feels more like a sports car than a bulldozer. It's the kind of engine that doesn't just pull, it launches. And here's your pattern interrupt. Imagine explaining to your neighbor that your yacht's engine could technically outpull a train. What's next? They'll say. Jet engines and lawn mowers. Give a few years. But it's not just the power. It's where that power can be used. The CAT C13 is now finding itself in emergency backup systems for hospitals, luxury marine applications, and even militarized vehicles. Why? Because reliability and power matter when there's zero room for error. And now, for the twist you didn't see coming. When you compare weight-to-power ratio, the C13 starts to eclipse older locomotive engines. Not because it produces more raw power, but because it delivers more usable power per pound. A GP38 locomotive weighs over 250,000 pounds to push out 2,000 horsepower. The C13? Around 3,500 pounds, putting its horsepower per pound ratio on another level entirely. So, could the CAT C13 really replace a train engine? Well, in terms of raw transportation, no. Trains move hundreds of tons across thousands of miles. But in precision-heavy, high-demand environments where space is limited and power is non-negotiable, the C13 doesn't just compete. It dominates. And here's the kicker. Caterpillar's next-gen development hints at even more power from the same block. Hybrid integration, cleaner emissions, higher boost thresholds. It's not a question of if the C13 gets more powerful. It's when. So the next time you hear a freight train thunder by, just remember, there's a diesel engine out there, half its size, built to conquer terrain, sea, and sky, with more agility and almost as much raw grunt. And if you think